Several news outlets, including Fox News, is saying that they are lining up. Let me make sure I change it to the YouTube Premium account because I don't want y'all sitting there worried about it, acting like Time Dog not taking care of his business and doing what he's supposed to do. They say that all of these countries are lining up for tariff meetings for Trump. And then I want to talk about what you can anticipate seeing with that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what's happening.
All right, now to a Fox News alert. Trade extensions, or tensions, I should say, trade tensions escalating overnight as Beijing announces a 125% tariff on U.S. imports. That's up from 84%, after the White House says tariffs on China are now at 145%.
If you thought even for a second, that Trump was going to just sit by and say, you know what? We cool, we chilling, we not trying to escalate a trade war, we not tripping off China. The minute that China raised it up to 125%, Trump said 145. He went one, and in his first term, 145, 145, 145, 145, 145, 145. Hey, do Cleveland got any good skating rinks? I think I might hit Cleveland on a skating rink next weekend or something like that before I head over to DC. Man, I'm going everywhere. I'm going to try almost every weekend or at least twice a month to get to a different city and see what y'all talking about. Do Cleveland got any good skating rinks weekend? Y'all let me know so I can come in there and tear up that flow. Come over there and tear up that with my Max. Tear up the flow over in Cleveland.
So meanwhile, President Trump says he's very close to his first deal.
If you aren't able to reach the deals that you want to see at the end of the 90 days, will you put those higher tariffs in place, or will you extend?
Well, that's what would happen. I mean, if we can't make the deal that we want to make, or we have to make, or that's good for both parties, it's got to be good for both parties, and then we go back to where we were.
Go back to the numbers that you announced last week.
I think so.
Wouldn't extend the pause.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Well, here to explain what those next 90 days will be like is U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. Jameson, first off, your take on what we woke up to today, upping the retaliatory tariffs on America to over 100%. Your reaction?
Well, good morning. I would say that the Chinese reaction this morning is not terribly surprising, but certainly unfortunate. No one else has retaliated against these reciprocal tariffs yet. China got out ahead and decided to do it, and that's why they're in a different category than the rest at this point.
Jameson, I know you've already talked to some countries and you're planning on talking to some today. Can you tell our audience which ones?
Certainly. In fact, right after I'm done with this TV spot, I'm going to be speaking with my counterpart in Israel. Over the last 2 days, I had a long discussion with the Vietnamese. We're speaking with the Taiwanese later today as well. I have a full dance card.
Yeah.
Vietnamese, Taiwanese. I like all of the E's. I like the ladies. Everything that got an E's in it, that seems to work for me. Give me all of the E's. I want all E's. Vietnamese, Taiwanese, ladies, Europeans. Everything except Chinese. Chinese ain't playing ball. They acting a little extra. Do you know that one of the most submissive women that I've ever run into in my entire life, and I don't know if y'all know, fellas, but y'all really, really, really need to open up your palate if these women are not acting right. And don't worry, we're going to get back to the tariffs. But some of the titties, somebody said the titties, the booties. Hey, Jay Ben, hold on, big dog. Let me say something. There was a woman that was leaving after hours tonight. They said, all right, Jay Ben, with your cute, handsome self. I said, what's going on inside of my chat? Let me go inside of my Discord and find out that y'all done created another thread that got something to do with linking up with each other. Let me find out. No, not herpes. We're going to leave the E's on the herpes alone. We don't like those E's. Not all of the E's, all right? Only y'all would come up with something like that. But no, some of the most submissive woman that I've ever met in my entire life was a Japanese woman. Crazy. But they was just like everybody else because she hated her husband. But The most submissive woman that I've ever seen in my entire life was a Japanese woman. It was insane. Insane. I said, what? Y'all acting crazy over there? Couldn't even speak full English. Couldn't even speak full English. Had halfway broken English, but was like, oh no, we love you, I love. I said, I see why ISO Speed is over there in all of those other countries trying to see what's going on.
So I guess, Representative, a lot of questions, the big question on Americans' mind, they're on board when it comes to knowing that China is a threat and they steal a lot of stuff from us. Is there a plan to make up the
Shout out to
difference
Leslie. I
for
appreciate
some of those businesses that are going to be hit hard by this trade war?
Well, certainly. And part of the reason we're doing negotiations is to achieve more fair and balanced and reciprocal trade with other nations. And part of this means opening up their export markets. As we all know, there have been so many barriers to U.S. products in foreign markets for many years, whether it's tariffs or non-tariff barriers or other things like that. And so as we're meeting with these countries every day, we're talking about ways where we can have more U.S. exports and give our producers alternative markets to China in addition to China.
All right, so when we look at China, tell me if these numbers line up with your numbers. We get 73% of our smartphones, 78% of our laptops, 87% of our video game consoles, 77% of our toys from China. If those numbers are correct, what do you? The marketplace is going to get severely hit by these tariffs.
So I understand that we do import a lot from China, and that actually, to me, underscores the urgency of the situation. We've become so dependent on this. That being said, many of our large companies dealing in hardware and consumer electronics have been diversifying over the past few years to Vietnam, to India, to Mexico, to Korea, to elsewhere. And those are the kind of trends we need to see to help diversify that production so that can help out American consumers and American companies.
But in the meantime, they say it's going to cost the American household $4,800. What do you say to those households?
Well, first of all, I would say with respect to those projections, a lot of those are Wall Street analysts who have a lot to lose themselves. In the first term, we put a lot of tariffs on China, and we saw similar predictions. Those ended up being wrong. Inflation went down.
Yep.
I think the economic fundamentals of our country are still very, very good. And while there may be an adjustment, I think we're going to be on a good path, and I don't think we're going to see that level of increase in household expenses.
Yeah, I know a lot
Looks
of
like
countries.
y'all might have to put the Nintendos down and go and actually make some money and get out here and get to the streets. You know, you don't have to go and buy the new Nintendo Switch, right? You don't have to buy the new Nintendo Switch. It's not a requirement. You know, you don't have to buy cars that make the majority of their products in China. You can't. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm thinking about going out to the Lincoln dealership because I love Ford, and I'm thinking about going to check out and buy me possibly a new Navigator this weekend. Thinking about going to buy me a new Navigator. Now, it doesn't make sense for me to buy a new Navigator because I don't know. I mean, how many more cars do you need? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Just because maybe I'll make it a birthday gift to myself. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just go and buy another watch. Who knows? But you like my white truck? I like the white truck too, Jordan. I like the white truck too. Somebody says, but also, Anton, you buy cars and tech stuff you don't need either. Not when I didn't have it to buy. I'm not the one that's complaining about the cost of goods and services. When I was in the position where I was building, I held back. That's why I always tell people, hey, hold it down for the first 5 to 10 years of when you actually taking your journey so that you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. Absolutely. I went and visited Mexico last week. And then I'm going to go and visit DC. And then I'm going to go and visit New York. And then I'm going to go and visit other places. And I'm going to go and visit Miami again, so on and so forth. 100%. That's because I'm rich. You can't hold me to the same standards as everybody else because I did my time. I'm 43, right? I made the sacrifices and stayed home. I wasn't traveling and doing all of the things that everybody else is doing. I sat tight, worked on my business, stayed low key, minimized the amount that I was paying in personal expenses, stayed in the complex that my father at the time was the head of maintenance so that I could stay there for free. I didn't start breaking out and spending money until I was rich until I had gotten to the point to where I could retire and not have to worry about money anymore. Daughter's college is funded, real estate was booming, everything was continuing to rock out. Then I have the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it. You can't hold people that got resources to the same standard. I made the sacrifice. I hunkered down. I moved back into my mom's basement. I stayed low key for a long time. I worked my way up through corporate America. I opened up and I built my businesses. I hustle. I still hustle. And you know what the worst part about it is? I actually work and hustle harder than people that don't even got no money. It be people in the chat criticizing me for how much they see me. And they don't even understand that I'm outworking you. I am how you gonna let a dude that is richer than you outwork you? They sat there and complained and said, Anton got all of these businesses, and he online, and he do content creation, and he got 3 and 4 channels. Why is he still working in corporate America? Because I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. It ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. Now, I just want to love ya and be who I am. I'm a hustler, baby. I can sell water to a whale. That's what I do. That's my gift. I'm going to be working and I'm going to be hustling for the rest of my life because I love the game. If you love the game and this is what you do, this is what you do. I just want to love ya and be who I am. Now give it to me. Give me that funk, that sweet, that nash, that gushy stuff. I'm a hustler, baby.
Trees are still at 10%. So many of those products maybe we can buy from other countries. What do the next 90 days look like?
Sure, I'm happy to give you some detail on this. So my office, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, I have hundreds of people. They're split up according to regional areas, and they're working around the clock with their counterparts at the staff level. And there are pieces of paper going back and forth as countries come in and make suggestions about what they can do to have more reciprocal trade with with us. And we're looking at those, we're reviewing those, we're communicating with them and giving them ideas.
Somebody said he's a YouTube hustler. That's fair. What type of hustler is you working at the call center? I don't want nobody criticizing me for how much I work online. I don't want that. I don't want no smoke. I don't want none of that. I don't want nobody sitting here telling me, oh man, then why you on the internet all day? Nigga, why ain't you on the internet all day? Why? He's a YouTube hustler. Facts. Don't kill me. Don't hurt me with a good time. Don't hurt me with a good time. Why is Anton on the internet? What do you mean why I'm on the internet? Because this is what I do for a living now, baby. This is what I do.
Point where the president can close these deals. He can negotiate, and if there's a deal that's good, he can consider taking it, and if not, then he'll have the tariff. But that's what we're doing over the next 90 days. We've been doing it for weeks, and we're doing it today, and we'll just keep doing it.
Mr. Representative, the president has said, keep calm, don't get yippy. You seem like a calm guy yourself. But what do you tell the American people that are on your side?
And as a matter of fact, I will tell you all this.
They are.
I just did a live stream, not this week, but the past week, where I gave out all of the secrets. I show them all of my deposits. I give them the game. I show them exactly how it is that I do things. I give them my strategy. I show them how it is that I monetize YouTube, why I make more and keep more, what my business philosophy is, how I keep overhead low, who I hire, who I put into place, what I do for different platforms, why I separate things. And I don't even see, that's the worst part about it. I don't even gatekeep. I give out the game for free, and it's already people that are capitalizing on it. You know how Classy Beats always send him gifts, and he'd be like, Anton, I love it. Don't you know that, bro, I will tell you this. Your favorite content creators are my bag chasers. Some of the biggest content creators are my bag chasers. It's a fact. It's a fact. Let's continue. I want to talk about tariffs.
A little scared because they see everything in their house and they look at the label and it says made in China.
Yes, there's a story from a couple of years ago. One of my kids one day looked at me and said, "Dad, why does everything say made in China? They must be so busy over there." And they're exactly right. But again, this has been a bipartisan approach for the past almost 8 years at this point, that we need to diversify from China and be able to source from other countries. And so I'm obviously sensitive to the needs of households and what we're seeing, but we've been put in a position and a point of emergency, frankly, where if we can only maintain our standard of living by being dependent on China, who is a strategic adversary, that's a very dangerous position to be in. And so we need to accelerate this.
What did you learn from the phase one deal last time, which they didn't keep to, and it wasn't enforced? Does that make you worry about cutting any deal with China in the long run?
Well, my sense is that the Chinese are pragmatic. I learned to have a deep respect for them. They're very serious. They understand power and realpolitik in the international arena. When we did the phase one deal, in the first couple of years, where the Trump administration was still there, we actually were able to enforce it. They bought more ag products from us in 2020 and then even 2021 than they had done in history. So it is a matter of enforcement. And I think if there's mutual understanding, mutual respect, and a real agreement, you can actually move the ball forward.
I got you, Chris.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Phenomenal interview with them. I think that it's going to be trade deals that is announced next week. Obviously, I'm going to stay on top of it because that is what I do.